Hello, friends. Welcome to another episode of Smooth Dev Saturday. Yeah, so this is me working from home now and doing all stuff from the house, no longer from the office. So how are we doing? Hope you're keeping safe this time. I'll keep on saying that actually till all this blows over. So, welcome to another episode of Smooth Dev Saturday, where we talk about developers, where we talk about well things relating to developer, maybe sometime I might switch it a little bit aside from the developer talk to talk some general tech things. And I think I might do a new sort of YouTube series. We're going to talk about general technology and not just developer technologies. Yeah, so it's another episode. We're actually on episode 12. I can't believe it's actually 12 weeks already since I've been doing this. Actually, 13 weeks, I skipped a week in between. So, yeah, and I want to say thank you. If this is your first time, you will do well to actually, yeah, subscribe so you can get notifications on when I go live or when I post new stuff. And my name is Dara. Thanks again for joining. So, let's go into what we have for today. Okay, it's episode 12, and we're gonna be talking about DevOps, just like I promised. So, talking DevOps, talking um, DevOps. Yeah, that's just it. So, let us now just do a little bit of recap. So, last week we talked about setting up for remote work, which was a little bit of digression actually from our main topic, where we talk dev stuff. So I was able to show us some stuff around how you set up for the house and some very nice people's setup. Yeah. So if you missed it, the link is just here's my finger. Yeah, the link is just right there, so you can follow that link to actually watch that recap. And of course, you can at the end I will give links to where you can get the recording and all that stuff. Yeah, so let us go into what we have for this week. We're gonna be talking about DevOps. So this is assuming you probably have no knowledge of what DevOps is. So and to be able to demystify some thoughts around it. Um, most people say, yeah, I'm a DevOps engineer, I'm a DevOps this, I'm a DevOps that. Yeah, all cool, all good. Yeah, but let us actually go and define what DevOps is. So there's a popular and globally acceptable definition of DevOps, and that's one that definition by Donovan Brown of Microsoft, where he defined DevOps as the union of people, processes and products to enable continuous delivery of value to your end users. So yeah, that's the guy Donovan Brown. You can follow him on Twitter. If you don't, awesome guy, awesome man, doing good stuff. So that is the definition of DevOps. And what I'll do in today's episode is actually define these separate terminologies. Define these terminologies and walk us through what each of them means. Yeah, so let us get started. Okay, so when we talk about people, when we talk about just a moment, so when we're talking about DevOps and we talk about people, we simply are talking about just a moment. Let me move this down. Okay, so the volume might go down a little bit because I can see there's some noises. Um, so people when we talk about DevOps are simply the stakeholders involved in your software development lifecycle, and this is not just developers. So DevOps whole is not for developers alone. DevOps is for every single person that is involved in making your application come to life and make it work. And I'll list some of these roles. Of course, this is not an exhaustive list. So, of course, the developer is there, the person who writes the code that makes this application come to life. We have the project manager. Those are the folks that, we know what project managers are. And then we have the business analyst, we have testers, we have the product owner, we have the user, who is actually a very important part of all the people in that list. We have the deployment engineer also. And of course, we have customer service, the guys that help you get complaints for your customers and then route it to you. And Now, these people, they have their way of working. They have how each of them ties together. And when I talk about the process, it's just simply how you do your work, how you roll out your applications, how you get feedback, how you manage the deployment, and all sort of stuff. And then I'll just list some of the processes here, the popular processes that actually software development life cycles, methodologies rather, that exist in the world today. So, of course, we know waterfall, agile, extreme programming, Scrum, Spiral, Lean, Agile, Safe, rapid application development. There's actually a lot more than this. I just thought to list some of them here for you. However, whatever methodology you actually use is applicable if you're doing DevOps. So you are able to use your processes in a better way, actually making it so the people here, they have the different roles in this process. And then of course the people that sorry the product, that is the app you're in, or the website you're writing, that tool you're developing, that new framework you're writing, or that new app you actually want to publish, or whatever your customer told you to do, or whatever your manager told you to write. That is the product. And remember the definition we gave about DevOps, that it is the union of people. Those stakeholders are listed for you, and then the process, whatever software development methodology you actually use in your organization, or personally if you're an independent developer, and the product you're actually writing. And that is me explaining that definition and breaking it down for you. Now, oops, can I skip that? Okay, yeah, just came up all there. So now, this is actually the main point I want to look at today. Why should you adopt DevOps practices as a developer, as a product manager, or as an organization as a whole? The first thing is that it focus collaboration. Focus collaboration in the sense that every stakeholder that I listed earlier able to work together hand in hand to actually make sure the application or whatever you're developing is a success, and you are able to deploy to your customers faster and more frequently because everybody knows what they're supposed to do. You spend lesser time writing emails, checking for feedback because everybody have where they're coming to check all these things because they work hand in hand now. And of course, there's lower failure rate simply because everybody works hand in hand. Nobody would Everybody has requirements, everybody has whatever they're supposed to do. They are able to ensure that we fail lesser. Yeah, there'll be errors, there'll be failures, it's all that, but you are able to reduce that failure rate because if you want to write, say for example, hello world application, before you write, you would have talked to the project manager, the business analyst, your task will be assigned to you, you know exactly what you're supposed to do, so you're not just writing rubbish. But that time. Also, you are able to deploy either without errors or with minimal errors because you've been able to actually do your work based on the requirements that have been set out for you. And of course, when there are problems, because you applied a process of development, which sometimes is a repetitive kind of stuff, you are able to quickly roll back or issue a fix easily. And so next week we'll talk all about how all these things work out from next week rather, and then you're able to recover from errors faster. Another benefit of adopting DevOps practices is that you are able to get to market fast ahead of your competition. So let's say company A is writing Hello World, company B is writing Hello Human World. Yeah, they do the same thing. They have the same target audience, but if you adopt DevOps practices, you're able to actually get the market fast because everything is working in sync between your people, your processes, and your products. And then if there needs to make changes, you are able to manage these changes faster. You're able to deploy these changes faster ahead of the competition. Yep. So that is it for this week actually. That is all I wanted to talk about for this week on Smooth Dev Saturday. I hope you've been able to learn a few things. Yeah, I know it's not a lot, but I hope you're able to learn a few things from all I've said. Remember the definition of DevOps the union of people, processes, and products to enable you to continuously deliver value to your end users. And these end users can be your customers or your partners or whoever is using whatever software you are building. And so maybe even before I round up, I usually use this example when I'm talking about DevOps. If you remember the days of Windows XP or Vista or whatever, where we had to wait for months before service packs were released for Windows. You had to wait months on end. But now, if there's any problem with Windows, you're able to get fixes within days, maybe even hours or weeks. Not even weeks anymore. You're able to get fixes within days. If there's an outage on the data center, you're able to get fixes like in hours time. Compared to 5, 10 years, 15 years ago, where we had to wait a long time before we actually get fixes and patches to software bugs. That is what DevOps brings to the table. And with all that I've said, I want to say thank you for joining today's episode of Smooth Dev Saturday. And on the next episode, I'll start focusing again on developers, where I talk DevOps for developers. And it will actually be a series because I want to be able to finish it all in one stretch. So I will talk about how to get started using DevOps, the DevOps tools, the tools I use to be able to achieve my practices with DevOps. I will share some demos on how to do deployments, how to manage projects, how to manage work items, how to do tests, and all sort of stuff. And that is what I'll be dealing with in this DevOps series. So this will take about 5 to 6 weeks ish to finish. So I'd like to stay tuned. If you have your friends, tell them next week is gonna be getting really, really, really hot. So, and just an announcement, I started a podcast about 5 weeks ago, 6 weeks. Okay, this is the 6th week, and it's on Anchor, so you can check that link at the center, anchor.fm/thisdevlife. You might want to subscribe, so it's available on your favorite listening platforms: Apple, is it Apple Music, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, available also on Anchor if you like to just listen straight from the Anchor app. And I actually have it also on my website. That's daroladapo.com/thisdevslife. You can get the RSS feed and plug it wherever you want to make that work for you. Also, you can follow me on Twitter and all the other links that are here. So thanks very much for joining today. I hope to actually see you again next week. Thank you very much.